Hello. Oh my good lord, I am so nervous. So sorry. So sorry about the late start, y'all. To the VOD watcher, you're not gonna have to deal with any lag whatsoever. But, yeah. I know. But, I have been toiling on this project for 2 weeks now at this point. 2 years, technically. But, God, there was so much more unfinished than I expected. Early for next stream, are we? Haha, very funny. But hello, everybody. Hello, Lexian. Hello, Dahlia. Hello, Centrion. Dahlia, enjoy your lurk. All those out there enjoying this in the shadows, welcome on in. And to those who watch the VOD, we salute you. And today, or tonight now, is a very special stream. Because it's for a game that doesn't exist. Basically, I have to give a lot of context before we get into the game itself. But first, how y'all doing? I hope you're doing good. We started late, so I'm gonna be a little less chatty than usual. But essentially, what we're playing today is something I created. This is technically not a detective game, but it is in the same vein. It is a visual novel. Longtime viewers, specifically I'm thinking like Ryan, would know about this, but a long time ago, when I was but a smaller time VTuber, digging around for free models, using a free one called a Dead Beat model, I was more of a VTuber fan back then, and somebody I admired, going by the name of Kai Saikota, I decided to myself, you know what? I learned how to code in ren'py, a very good visual novel engine. And I decided, you know what? I think I can put together a visual novel in the same vein as a Phoenix Wright entry. And I tried. I managed to find some assets online of the courtroom. So I had my backgrounds, and because I didn't know how to draw, I used my own model. And that was ambitious. Hugely ambitious. Like, my main goal was to have a complete game, start to finish, with all the placeholder stuff in there. My own model will serve as the characters, like I'll wear different hats and such to mask who's who. And I would be composing my own music. The music bit and the whole completing it bit was more difficult than I expected. I was very busy at the time. I was working on my own stuff. I'm pretty sure I was employed at the time too, if I think about it. Maybe I was employed at the time, but point being, I had no time, and I had, oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't have enough skill to finish it. Hello, B. Welcome on in. Sorry about the late start. But hey, at least you're home and you get to enjoy at your new desk, of all things. So that was 2 years ago. Almost 3. It would have been 3 as of September. I think, if I recall correctly. And the project just kind of gathered dust. But recently, Mr. Bones has finally figured out how to write music. And well, it's more like I knew how to write music in the past, but more like I understand a lot more music theory now, and I can apply it to rushed projects. So, this, remember, was a birthday gift for Kai. And I never finished it. I didn't finish it on time. She previewed the work in progress stuff on stream. And it's been one of my biggest regrets that I never finished it. Because I couldn't write the music for it. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to go about it. But over the past 2 weeks... Was it 2 weeks? Yeah, when I announced that I would be doing something special for my birth week on Friday night. That's kind of when I started hodgepodging together BGM for it. And tonight, I spent one day finding... I had some SFX lying around. I had some more scenes to complete. And I needed to code in all of that stuff. So, finally, after what seems like 4 friggin' ever, I have a complete ren'py visual novel game to show y'all. Now, there's no voice acting because, well, I'm gonna be playing it, so you know who's gonna be voice acting it. But there is sound effects, there is music. Where's the detective intro? Forgive me, Centurion. You'll need I'll have to give you 2 detective intros next time. My mind is very much mush, and I'd like to showcase this game, preserve it on the internet, and then call it a night because I am dead-er than usual. Thank you for your understanding. It's a good tradition. Also, you'll be happy to know, y'all, I have a brand new chair. It's finally not the one that's about to give up on life. So, is there anything else I need to explain? Oh yeah, there's one catch though. Kai Saikota, the person this game was about, yeah, she graduated. That Kai Saikota as a persona no longer exists. That doesn't mean the person behind this VTuber is gone and retired. No, she's still active, but for the sake of forbidden knowledge, I can't say. Pipe. So she's still active, just under a different persona. Anyway, there may be some cheeky links in the description after this stream that you can check out. But, yeah, she graduated from her corporate agency. That corporate agency dissolved. And that leaves us with an undeliverable birthday present. So, I figured, you know, let's finish it. Let's play it on stream. And God only knows, maybe one day she'll see it, because I'm not about to email the finished product to her business email. But anyway, yeah. 3 things you have to know. 1, the VTuber in question is Kai Saikota. Number 2, her fans were called the Camisitos. And number 3, she was a dragon. A Puerto Rican dragon. How that works, God only knows, but then again, you're talking to a Tejano skeleton, so... strangeness is relative. Alright. I did one final pass on the bug testing, and I hope I got everything. I hope there's no misspelling mistakes, and I hope that the audio is okay, because I'm responsible for all of it. I am alone to blame for the crappy sound effects. I ran out of time. I could not mix anything properly in time, so whatever you hear is just what I came out with in time for this stream. Barely. So, without further ado, folks, let's hope my computer doesn't crash and burn, and we'll try to make this work out. Alright. ren'py launcher, launch project, and there it is in all its ugly form. Eventually. There it is. Alright. This is bare bones. No fancy menu. What are we playing? Kai on Trial. This is a fan game for a VTuber called Kai Saikota, now graduated. This is a Phoenix Wright clone. Very faithful Phoenix Wright clone, and you'll see why the second we start it. So without further ado, I wrote this game, so if you've got any critiques, I don't want to hear them. 2 years ago, Ricky wrote this. I just finished it off with extra details. Oh boy. And do let me know if anything's too loud or too quiet. November XX 2023. Sometime past 5 p.m. EST. Idle corporate courthouse, room D. I'll rise for the Honorable Judge Bones. And this is the old model I used. I didn't have any means of drawing, so this was all I had. This model is by Jawlipops. And these backgrounds, I just found them randomly on the internet, man. I don't know why, but you can look, you can see like I Heart Justice has these same BGs. Your Honor, Judge Bones is mean to me. He's mean to everybody, unfortunately. Thank you, Bailiff. Now on to the matter at hand. This court has been called to discuss the criminal charges against the defendant, Miss Kai Saikota. Is the prosecution ready? This is my shitty attempt at doing a one-person theater, everybody. One singular PNG of a hat. Much better than this. Much worse than this. This is much better. This was drawn by an actual human. Me, I just found it online. Secondary Idle Prosecution Officer, Viles Dredgeworth. Case win-loss ratio, 2-1. He's as good as, if not better than most court-appointed prosecutors. Yeah, that is just what comes with the model. This is by Jawlipops. This is a Dead Beat model. This is a fan model. That's why this is never going to be monetized. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Very good. Is the defense ready? 6th Reserve Idle Defense Attorney, Scenic Flight. Case win-loss ratio, 20-1. Am I a deadbeat detective? A deadbeat, yes. A deadbeat, space between dead and beat, yes. A detective, yes. A deadbeat detective? Thankfully, no. That is one trait I do not have. Alright. The odds may be stacked against me, but I'm confident I'll pull through. Mr. Flight. Oh, sorry. Got lost in thought there. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very good. Very well. The prosecution may begin by laying out the charges. Of course, Your Honor, but I must make one minor protest before we begin. Where is the defendant? This is just a cardboard cutout of Miss Saikota. That is traced from a shop page that is carefully cut out. Carefully, he says, as there's visible jagged edges around here. Yeah, that is Kai Saikota. That is merch. That is a keychain I found online. But yes, it's all... The audio is from Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. The music is in the same key as Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney songs. That's the only original thing, is the music. Everything else is completely stolen. Where is the defendant? This is just a cardboard cutout of Miss Saikota. Furthermore, where are the witnesses? How are we to judge this defendant's character against the criminal charges? Yeah, she's I'll tell you this, she's still active, just elsewhere. On this very platform, even. Astute observation, as always, Mr. Dredgeworth. However, I've been informed that this case is informal, and we're not to detain the defendant until we have solid proof she did something wrong. As for the character witnesses, we've had too many submissions to quality check, so we've barred them from the courtroom. Is that even legal? Not really a question of legality, but more of breathability. We would need a convention hall to fit all the witnesses for a court hearing. With all that exposition out of the way, I call upon the prosecution to lay out the charges. This time without complaint, please. Alright, here we go. My 20th case. Surely I've learned something from the last 19. I just need to look for discrepancies in the charges against Miss Saikota. The judge will ask me for my opinion, and BAM! Dredgeworth's worthless talk will go up in smoke. And that concludes the list of criminal charges against Miss Kai Saikota. Does the defense have a rebuttal? Huh? Mr. Flight, were you paying attention? What were the charges? Well, Prosecution, please repeat the charges for our rookie attorney. Of course, Your Honor. Ready, Mr. Blight? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Right. Moving on. The charges against Miss Kai Saikota are as follows. Driving while intoxicated, multiple counts of false advertising, and impersonating a civil servant, namely, a teacher. Not one of these charges should be considered lightly, as they are backed by numerous character witnesses and videographic evidence. Your Honor, she's just a girl. She's just a demure little girl. These are serious accusations indeed. Does the defense have a response? I mean, yes, Your Honor. But first, we request that the prosecution present their evidence alongside each accusation, so I can cross-examine the details. I see no harm in it. I trust that you read the evidence manifesto beforehand as well. Oops. Absolutely, Your Honor. Top to bottom. Very well. Let us begin with the first charge of driving while intoxicated. On June 14th, 2023, Miss Kai Saikota debuted alongside her genmates in Idol EN's second generation of VTubers, also known as Endless. Despite her generation featuring a thieving raccoon, a deranged clown, a mind-controlling Cthulhu-esque creature, and a literal rock, Miss Saikota managed to gain greater infamy than all her genmates combined with her very first stream, and solidified her status as a menace to society. On June 16th, 2023, only 2 days after debuting, Miss Kai Saikota played American Truck Simulator without a care for her fellow drivers while sipping on a bottle of hard apple cider. Including her obvious DWI infraction, she is also guilty of numerous traffic violations. Running a red light, injury without rendering aid, and failure to stop to signal, just to name a few. I think this case is open and shut. She should be arrested at once for these obvious felonious deeds. Can't read my own handwriting, apparently. Objection. American Truck Simulator consents you to drunk drive. Sustained. Serious claims indeed. Mr. Flight, instead of cross-examining the testimony, I will allow you to make a verbal argument due to the unusual circumstances. What? Give me a reason why these charges fall flat. Is there any way you can defend Miss Saikota against this DWI charge? Oh, right. There's gotta be some way I can spin this in her favor. She clearly did drive drunk, but... Decisions. Alright. This is a playthrough, so I'm gonna do every single one. We're not gonna get anything right on the first try. Let me take a sip. Alright. She was doing fine. That drink did nothing to her driving ability. Miss Saikota is 101 years old. She understands her limits, and surely she was well below the legal limit. Her drink of choice was a hard apple cider with very little alcoholic content. Exactly! She was well under the legal limit. However, her reason for choosing such a lightweight drink is because she herself commented about poor alcohol poor alcohol tolerance. Therefore, she got on the virtual road knowing full well... Wow, I've missed a lot of things in my writing. Full well that her driving would become impaired with just a couple sips. We can slap on premeditated to her DWI charge now. Well put, Mr. Dredgeworth. I'll keep that in mind. Does the defense have any other arguments to make? Alright. This is absurd! That was a video game, not the real world! Seriously, there's no way you can pin someone down as a criminal for what they did in a video game. The defense has a point. Technically, this irrational behavior isn't a real-world action. Therefore, real-world laws wouldn't apply. That may be true, Your Honor. However, Ms. Saikota is a public figure who wields immense influence over the next generation of drivers. If a Supreme Court member said drinking while driving was a fun thing to do, wouldn't you think the same? That's even more absurd. Surely your everyday citizen has enough common sense to recognize how bad of an idea that is. I mean, if a member of the Supreme Court is doing it. Silent judgment. Silent judgment. Court recorder, please strike the last 3 minutes from the record. I think I've made my point. Damn, he's good. What do I say now? Well, in every Phoenix Wright game, you know, it's the most ridiculous answer. Little did you know, that was a drunk driving PSA. First off, how dare you accuse an upstanding entertainer of a reputable talent agency? These accusations are baseless and slanderous. Clearly, you don't see Miss Saikota's true intention with her very first stream. The defense is conjecturing without evidence. Sustained. Mr. Flight, please get to the point. The local blood alcohol level is 0.08, and apple cider has a reduced glucose, so she's fine. Absolutely, Your Honor. You see, my client, Miss Saikota, wasn't committing a felony just for entertainment value. She was providing the perfect anti-drunk driving PSA with her reckless abandon. Objection! There's no way that display of obviously intoxicated road rage was anything constructive. Objection! The prosecution is conjecturing without evidence. Hey, you can't steal my lines like that. Copyright infringement aside, Mr. Flight does make a good point. Do you have any evidence to prove malicious intent, Mr. Dredgeworth? Should make more games like this. I do like making people laugh. Well, no. No what? No, Your Honor. Then by the power invested in me as magistrate of this totally legit court of law, this charge is dropped from Miss Kai Saikota's list of charges. Somewhat pleased. If I take this too seriously, let me know. You're good. Phew, he bought it. But there's still 2 charges left to clear. Wait, did that cardboard cutout just smile? Now then, we're on a tight schedule here. There's a TV crew waiting to use this courtroom after we finish, so let's move on to the next charge against Miss Saikota. Of course, Your Honor. Man, what a professional. He's right back on the ball after losing his composure. Okay, let's get professional ourselves. Here comes the next accusation. The next charge may be slightly less serious, but it's a serious crime all the same. Since her debut, Miss Kai Saikota has made numerous promises that she couldn't keep. While it may not seem all that serious, it can be when it comes to the justice system rules against false advertising. From day one, Miss Kai Saikota has started and immediately ceased playthroughs of various games, making one new series after another and almost dropping it immediately. Consider the broken hearts after seeing a familiar face or beloved franchise in the thumbnail, only to be forgotten like unwanted birthday cake. Therefore, the totally anonymous group known as the Not Kamisitos charge Miss Saikota with false advertising. Serious crimes indeed. Reminds me how Game Grumps abandoned doing tutorials. Yeah, this entire game was meant to be a call-out post. A cheeky one. A non-serious cheeky one. But a call-out post nonetheless. Serious allegations indeed. This anonymous group certainly has it out for our defendant. Somewhat restrained fury. Should have put a sound effect there. I don't know what, though. Is the defense ready with their response? False advertising? How the heck am I supposed to defend against that? Her stream archive is full of dead ends. Okay, focus up. There's got to be some way to defend her dropping games faster than a fresh tortilla at a Mexican restaurant. We haven't got all day, Mr. Flight. Please present your argument. I should say... Okay. Those games weren't worth finishing. How can you expect... Hold it! How can you expect my client to finish all those lame game choices? Lame? Mr. Flight, did you even read the evidence manifesto? Absolutely, top to bottom. But for the sake of our court record, which games are you referring to? I'll let that one slide, rookie. But for your information, Mr. Flight, the games that were dropped are considered top-rated products of the entertainment industry. Really? You expect me to believe hearsay? Show your proof. Very well. I will list each series that never went past one pot. You may rebuke my claims as you see fit. As the evidence manifesto show indicates, Miss Saikota has played the following games only once on stream. Critically acclaimed action RPG Final Fantasy VI. Too long! By the way, I want to apologize real quick, because I freaked Kai out with this here. I had to get the thumbnails from somewhere, and I got them from Twitter. When Kai saw the preview, she stopped posting thumbnails on Twitter because I was using them for the game, and she thought, oh god, what if somebody else steals them? And to that I say, so sorry, man. So sorry for making you paranoid there. So sorry. That is something I will never do again. So sorry. But this was for a fan game. I didn't think much of it. Anyway, there's not really much you can do. Does she think you were stealing intellectual property? No, it just feels weird that something you worked... I guess it just feels weird that something you worked hard on gets pulled off the internet like that. I don't know. I'm not sure why it freaked her out. But it freaked her out, so... I gotta say sorry. Even if it was for a fan game, that is not something I should have done. But regardless, I don't really care if my thumbnails get taken from my social media posts. That's what they're there for. A whole lot of stuff gets... If you put it on the internet, it does get taken. But the fact that it freaked her out means I have to apologize. So, if you ever see this, bro, I am so sorry. Anyway, moving on. Indie horror game, Pocket Mirror. Too scary. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with viewers. Too high a skill ceiling. Lovable and charming casual game, Pikmin 4. Too cute? And last but not least, the source of Miss Saikota's newest male obsession. This was 2023, remember this. Baldur's Gate 3. Objection! Ha! Caught you red-handed, Mr. Dredgeworth. That last claim is outdated. My client did in fact continue her gilded romance between her and beloved tech Tumblr sexy man, Astarion. And how would you know that, Mr. Flight? You've yet to prove to this court that you're a competent defense attorney. I, watch clips? Specifically of Astarion? Objection overruled. Despite your valid point about the information being outdated, I'm afraid it doesn't make up for the rest of the discontinued games. Mr. Flight, please tell me you have a better defense than that. Alright, well, she had better games to play. For streamers, time is a luxury. Hold it! As an upstanding member of Idol Corps, Miss Saikota is a very busy dragon. Those unfinished games weren't worth her precious time. By the way, just a tip, don't romance Astarion a lot. He's actually got some romance trauma. Interesting. You have to play the long game with him. Cool. Then pray tell, Mr. Flight, what is more important than continuing a shared experience with your community? Simple! The wonderful and shared experience of creative experience of Minecraft. Minecraft. Absolutely! It's her longest running series. Mr. Flight, are you aware of the content of those shared creative experiences? Remember, it's a call-out post. Should I? Mr. Flight, the reason Miss Saikota plays Minecraft so much is because the goal of each stream is to build a house. See? Miss Saikota is doing her part by creating housing for her community. I rest my case. No, you misunderstand. The goal of each stream is to build her house. Specifically, her shrine. Huh? Wait, that means... Yes, Mr. Flight. She has 7 such shared creative experiences dedicated to constructing said shrine. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. Yes, and the shrine wasn't built in 7 streams. At the moment, only a single wall stands. And I don't really know if that shrine ever did get built before she graduated. I really don't. I was kind of out of the community for some time, for personal reasons. Yeah. They were good streams, though. Might I add that each stream promised shrine completion? I really dug my own grave here. I hate to say it, Mr. Fight, but you really dug your own grave there, and outed yourself as a fake fan. Wait a minute. How can you judge the case if you're a fan of the defendant? Aren't judges supposed to be impartial? Is this a Ricky fan game? Yes, sir! This is a Phoenix Wright clone for a graduated VTuber known as Kai Saikota. I wrote this. I wrote the music. Well, more like ripped off Phoenix Wright music in a DAW, but still. Yeah. It's a call-out post for a streamer I used to watch. Still do. Just in a different form. Correct, Mr. Flight. However, I set aside my personal agenda when I became judge and only judged the facts given. Here's one such fact. The defense is supposed to have read the evidence manifesto beforehand. Yes, Your Honor. Couldn't agree more. Hello, Ryan. You remember Kai on Trial, that game I wanted to make? Well, it's right in front of us. Hello, Flash. I feel like the music is a little low, but just gonna boost it a tiny bit more. Not too much. Yeah, this is the real deal. It's complete, and it's right in front of us. Anyway, welcome on in, Flash. Welcome on in, Ryan. We're just getting started on this fan game I created and finished right before stream. Alright. Nothing, and there we go. Something in there. There's always something, especially with my hands being as cramped as they were. And thank you for the watch streak, faves. Appreciate it. With all that said, please tell me you have a better defense than that, Mr. Flight. So, we are defending Kai Saikota, or at least a cardboard cutout of Kai Saikota, a VTuber who I used to watch a lot back in the day. Still do, in her new persona. She graduated a long time ago, and this fan game was meant as a birthday present. I never got to finish it. Yes, this second one is going to be the next one we do. I know how this game turns out, but I will indulge you and say I'll roll odd. Alright. How can you single out Miss Saikota? You're a victim of false advertising yourself, Mr. Dredgeworth! Objection! What in the world are you on about, Mr. Flight? I'm not the one in trial here. On trial? I'm not the one on trial here. Your regretful client here is. Somewhat visibly confused. It's very simple, Mr. Dredgeworth. That's right, keep lying yourself. That's the only way this will work. Are you familiar with the brand of hat you're wearing, Mr. Dredgeworth? What? Of course! It's my signature miniature wool top hat. It's part of my signature look as a successful prosecutor. Ha! I knew it. You're so obsessed with pomp and circumstance that you've forgotten the most important rule in shopping for oneself. Which is, as if I cared, caveat emptor. What kind of gibberish is that? Mr. Dredgeworth, may I ask a favor? Of course, Your Honor. Please remove your hat and read the care label on the inside. Odd request, Your Honor, but I shall do as you ask. That this can't be. 100% polyester? I've been bamboozled! All this time I've been wearing a plastic hat? Take that! Caveat emptor, Mr. Dredgeworth. Let the buyer beware. Objection! What does any of this public shaming have to do with the case? Everything! You accuse my client of false advertising, yet here you are, a victim of another misinformation scheme. If you want to take down my client for this, damn it. If you want to take down my client for this charge of broken promises, you'll have to continue your righteous crusade to the real estate brokers, the retail stores, not to mention AAA game developers. Enough! You've made your point, Mr. Flight. If we start down this rabbit hole of trials and tribulations, we'd never get out of here in time for lunch. Mr. Dredgeworth, does the prosecution rescind the false advertisement charges? But he can't just... Excellent! Now let's move on to the third charge, shall we? Somewhat smug. Did that thing just... Mr. Dredgeworth! Refrain from useless conjecture during court proceedings and continue with the final charge. Apologies, Your Honor. We'll be proceeding as soon as I have my notes together. I needed to do a spell check on this one. Ha! That really rattled him. I'm finally getting the hang of this defense attorney gig. Wait, did he notice something weird about the cardboard cutout too? Is that thing haunted? Mr. Flight! Yes, Your Honor! Yes, B. I think my music is okay. Despite your abysmal track record, you've proven yourself quite capable thus far. I commend you for sticking with your client despite the stack of evidence against her. However, I must warn you, this last charge is quite severe and practically foolproof. I must ask you to provide a piece of evidence that can disprove the highly criminal nature of this last charge. Bailiff, please hand Mr. Flight a copy of our evidence manifesto. He'll need all the help he can get. Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Lucky Charms? Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms. It'll kill you faster, probably. Absolutely, Your Honor. There you go, kid. You should have just asked for a copy in the first place. Thanks. Better take the judge's advice on this one. Who knows what Dredgeworth has in store for this last charge? Now, let's see. In addition to the evidence Mr. Dredgeworth has presented thus far, I see some evidence that hasn't been brought to light just yet. It reads Evidence Manifesto 09. Which section should I look at? Alright, let's do it top to bottom. This is going quicker than I thought, which is good, because I'm dead tired after all the coding. Alright, Evidence 1. Let's see here. This seems to be a degree from the University of Draken. Whoever earned this is a dedicated individual. Wait a minute! This belongs to the defendant? Also, why did she major in French? I don't quite understand this client of mine, but if she's willing to use her valuable time at university to understand the language of love, she can't be all that bad. She can't be all that bad. Maybe I can use this to paint her in a positive light somehow. Let's keep reading. All things considered, good job of making this game. Thank you. Writing is my stronger suit. Making it look pretty? Not so much, as you can see. I had to use a borrowed model, borrowed assets. It's a clone, it's a ripoff, but it's a well-written one. Evidence Manifesto 09, number 2. What's this? Phoenix Bones? Hey, oh, Ricky. Hey, Sky, yes. So I made a fan game a long time ago. It was intended to be delivered to Kai Saikota on her birthday, but I didn't have the skill or time to complete it for 2 years. And then she graduated. So now I'm playing it for content at this point. That's basically all I can do. I can't deliver it anymore. Better late than never, yeah. What's this? Divorce papers? This seems totally out of left field. These divorce papers indicate a very toxic and ferocious separation between my client and an individual named Miss Otako. The record from the divorce hearings indicate that Miss Saikota banned Miss Otako from her stream after taking a poll from her community. Yet the result of said poll was almost a 50-50 split. Dredgeworth probably put these here to trick me into another entrapment. Looking to sucker me again, yet I'm sure. Sucker me yet again, I'm sure. What kind of a dum-dum does he take me for? Taco bot. Obvious bait. Somewhat suffering from psychic damage. Was it Mimi Otako? It was her gen mate. She was a squid. A dum-dum squid. They had an ongoing feud, and I was actually there when she took the poll to ban her gen mate. Man, this divorce hearing goes on forever. I can't possibly use this junk. Was it joking or real? Oh, it was a real thing. Was it real intent? No, it was a joke. The pink eyes look like hearts. Yeah, the Jawlipops model was very interesting. I can't possibly use this junk. Wait! It goes on forever! That's it! I might be able to filibuster with this! But then we'd be here for the next month. Let's see what else there is. Evidence number 3. This evidence is a blown-up picture of a computer chip. It has a very small engraving that reads Kai AI 2.0 on the side. According to the text associated with it, this chip belongs to a virtual manifestation of Live2D Entertainment. Apparently, in a fit of spite, Miss Saikota destroyed this would-be successor with a well-placed dragon flame burst. Once the unfeeling entertainer bot was obliterated, Miss Saikota was quoted as saying, "There's only room for one Kai Saikota in this world, bitch." Oh, wait, that's just some fanfiction somebody misplaced. Here's the actual text. This chip is a prototype from the research team at IdleCorp. It serves as the logic memory bank for the on-screen variant of Kai AI 2.0. After testing Kai AI 2.0 in the field, she was proven to be unreliable, and this chip will serve as the basis for the next generation of AI-generated dragon entertainment. Yeah, this was back when that was slowly spooling up. It wasn't hated or wasn't designated to be scum of the earth back in the day. It was a brand new technology to get your voice synthesized. And then, as the years rolled on, it slowly turned into the scummy AI we know today. Now I'm not sure which one is the fanfiction. My skull hurts. It's an odd piece of evidence to present, but maybe I can spin it positively somehow. What else is there? That's all the evidence. Alright, I'm done reading. Let's do this. Alright, enough standing in silence pretending I know what I'm doing. Time to act like I know what I'm doing. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very good. Is the prosecution ready? Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to finish this, once and for all. Yeah! Where did all that confidence come from? No, stay focused. It hasn't even started. Don't lose faith now. Very well. Proceed with the final charge, Mr. Dredgeworth. We've already beat around the bush long enough, so I'll get right to the point. This third charge, levied against Miss Kai Saikota, is impersonation of a civil servant. On August 28, 2023, Miss Saikota began a public education scheme by involving her viewers in a week-long event known as Back to Depression Week. During this week of so-called education, she used 2 AI to write her an essay, conducted a science experiment without proper equipment or formula, created an artistic abomination using copyrighted material, and ruined any credibility of her teaching ability by offering to do her viewers' homework for them. During this educational farce, her students ran rampant. By the end of this multi-stream event, her students had caused harm to themselves under her supervision and burned down her virtual schoolhouse. Impersonation of a civil servant, using AI to generate essays, unsafe chemical experiments, assisting in fraudulent test scores, and outright negligence of her own students. Without a doubt in my mind, I, Mr. Viles Dredgeworth, on behalf of the anonymous group known as the Not Kamisitos, accuse Miss Saikota of being a menace to society and a danger to all those around her. Somewhat bored. Your Honor, I have proof in spades, and I leave you the honor of giving this obviously guilty defendant the verdict she deserves. Yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. Alright. Objection! After all this talk and this is the best you can come with? After all this talk and this is the best you can come up with, Mr. Dredgeworth? A teaching scandal? I need to think quickly. That ridiculous objection won't... Objection! Mr. Flight, are you mad? In a world where teachers are far and few between, there are scores of fraudulent educators willing to scam their parents for their hard-earned cash. Objection sustained! Mr. Flight, I'm afraid I must side with the prosecution on this matter. Impersonating a pillar of society is practically indefensible. Without any evidence to the contrary, I have no choice but to request a warrant for Miss Saikota's arrest. This is it. My one chance at being a successful defense attorney. I cannot lose. I have my evidence on hand. At least one of these files has to be the key to destroying Dredgeworth's worthless expositions. This is your only chance, Mr. Flight. Do you have any evidence that proves Miss Kai Saikota is innocent? Alright, I'll tell you something right now. It's one, but we will skip one because this is a playthrough. Evidence 3! This computer chip proves my client's innocence. Obviously, when she began her short stint as an inexperienced teacher, she wasn't actually present. The Kai Saikota we see on screen is obviously Kai AI. Objection! There's no way that's possible. How so? Show your proof, Mr. Dredgeworth. You fool. You've already done that for me, Mr. Flight. Huh? Look closely at the computer chip, Mr. Flight. Don't look closely at it. I forgot I didn't flip it in time. I didn't flip it properly in time for this stream. Anyway. Yeah, it reads Kai AI 2.0. Correct, Mr. Flight. The same AI that was debuted during Miss Saikota's Donathon, which means Kai AI 2.0 didn't exist during her Back to Depression week. Your story holds no merit. You lose, Mr. Flight. Good day, sir. No! How can this be? I'm sorry, Mr. Flight, but without proper evidence, I have no choice but to deliver my verdict as I see fit. I can't believe it. I've failed. After all that talk, I just fell flat on my face at the finish line. Damn it. I guess there's only one thing left to do. It isn't an adventure game without doing this, guys. It isn't an adventure game without doing this. Objection! After all this talk, and this is the best you can come up with, Mr. Dredgeworth, a teaching scandal? I need to think quickly. That ridiculous objection won't... Objection! Mr. Flight, are you mad? In a world where teachers are far and few between, there are scores of fraudulent educators willing to scam their parents for their hard-earned cash. Scam parents for their hard-earned cash. Objection sustained. Mr. Flight, I'm afraid I must side with the prosecution on this matter. Impersonating a pillar of society is practically indefensible. Without any evidence to the contrary, I have no choice but to request a warrant for Miss Saikota's arrest. This is it, my one chance at being a successful defense attorney. I cannot lose. I'm going to pull this down a bit because I think the music might be a little loud. I could be mistaken, but we'll leave it there. I have my evidence on hand. At least one of these files has to be the key to destroying Dredgeworth's worthless exposition. Music's fine? Okay, never mind. Alright. Sounds good to you. Okay, good. This is your only chance, Mr. Flight. Do you have any evidence that proves Miss Kai Saikota is innocent? It's number 2, gotta be! Take that! Here's my proof. Divorce papers? Yes! Mr. Fright, this stack of divorce papers is about 6 inches thick. Do you really expect me to find your proof in all this? Yes? Does the judge have anything to say on this matter? Mr. Flight? Yes, Your Honor? I'm hungry. I didn't get any sleep last night, and I need to use the restroom. I guess that means I lose. Yes, Mr. Flight. I'm sorry. Without proper evidence, I have no choice but deliver my verdict as I see fit. I can't believe it. I've failed. After all that talk, I just fell flat on my face at the finish line. Damn it. I guess there's only one thing left to do. Again! Objection! After all this talk, and this is the best you can come up with, Mr. Dredgeworth? A teaching scandal? Ha! I need to think quickly. That ridiculous objection won't distract him for too long. Huh? Why aren't they saying anything? Mr. Dredgeworth? Judge Bones? Bro, that was so sad. What? Who said that? Really? You don't think that you were doing this well all by yourself, did you? You didn't think you were doing well all by yourself, did you? Legit, you have no idea what the hell you're doing. Oh my god, it is haunted! No, you dumbass, it's me, Kai. You know, the person you're trying to defend. What? How are you? I'm a god, doofus. Gods get to do cool shit like this all the time. Then, am I dead? Of course you are. You're a skeleton. Oh, right. Anyway, what's happening? Why are we stuck like this? See previous answer. Now shush your mouth and listen to me. I'm only allowed to give you one hint, and then I gotta start time again. So open your ear holes and start taking notes. Okay. What's the hint? 1. Right. 1 hint. What is it? Just 1. I know that. Now what's the 1 hint? It's so psychover, bros. It's so psychover, bros! How's that supposed to help me? Kai? Hello? Mr. Flight! Ah! Good God, man, are you listening? I said with no evidence to the contrary, I must deliver a guilty verdict. Mr. Flight, are you all right? You seem terribly frightened. I apologize, Your Honor. I may have lost myself for a second there. Quite all right, Mr. Flight. Must be the nerves kicking in. All right, let me... do I snooze this or wait it out? Snooze it. I got 3 of these. However, I must reiterate that we are on a strict timetable. I will accept only 1 piece of evidence at this time. Can you handle that, Mr. Flight? You only get 1 piece of evidence. Don't waste my time any longer. Okay, this is my 1 chance at being a successful defense attorney. I cannot lose. I have my evidence on hand. At least 1 of these files has to be the key to destroying Dredgeworth's worthless expositions. This is your only chance, Mr. Flight. Do you have any evidence that proves Miss Kai Saikota is innocent? Present your evidence. This was a fail-safe, because I know some people can miss the obvious. And is there an obvious? No, there isn't. That's the whole point of this parody. Kai, if you're listening, I just want to say that as a girl failure, I love you. Aww. All right, evidence 1. Hold it! If it may please the court, I would like to recap what we have learned so far about Miss Saikota in such a short time. Objection! You've wasted all of our time, and then some, and then extra with this pointless yabbering. Get to the point so I can get home to my wife. Mr. Dredgeworth, I will hold you in contempt of court if you continue to state the obvious. This dragon lizard thing's verdict hangs on the next statement. Mr. Flight, please proceed, but be quick about it. Right. As I was saying, in a small span of time, my client has been outright slandered and painted as a public menace, a shameless fraud, and now she's accused of being a heartless, educational imposter. But look at her! She's the shining example of purity, trustworthiness, and financial responsibility. Looks can be deceiving, Mr. Flight, but please continue with your meaningless charade. Also, who said anything about her financial decisions? Exactly! Nobody cared to mention her charitable side. For you see, Mr. Dredgeworth, pause for dramatic effect, those classes weren't a vicious scheme to rob children of their education. It was a public service! Objection! There's no way! It was informal, crowdsourced, and unprofessional. Where is your proof? Well, how can you prove there was no malicious intent? Take that! Do you know what this is, Mr. Dredgeworth? Incoming mirrored object again. Of course I know. Unlike you, I actually read the evidence manifesto. This degree mocks the owner of it as a well-established scholar from the well-respected University of Draken. It's anyone's guess how your defendant managed to fumble her way to the top. Ha! That's where you're wrong. For you see, Miss Saikota spent many late nights burning the midnight oil to earn her place at the University of Draken. You can't prove that. She not only survived a full life's worth of educational material, she also dedicated much of her time to learning French, the language of love. Anyone can learn French. It's practically free on Duolingo. Now, how can you call a lizard newt woman with credentials like that a sham? She pours her blood, sweat, and tears into everything she does. Objection! This is all hearsay, malarkey, utter rubbish. And on top of all the good she has accomplished, let me make it very clear that no one in their right mind would become a teacher for free. No, but I teach music for $10 an hour. Your Honor, I call upon you to do the right thing. From the very start, you knew deep in your heart that my client was never guilty in the slightest. Now prove to this court that she deserves to fly free. You dumb brat! You come into my house and accuse me of lying! How dare you! I come from a long line of proud and just prosecutors! You are the absolute worst attorney that I have ever... Enough! If only we had a breakdown animation. I know. I've heard enough from you, Viles. I gave you several warnings about your sporadic outbursts, but now I must come to a conclusion, and I shall ignore your counsel entirely. What? But this blithering... Hydration sounds like a great idea, actually. Order! Order! I will have no further outbursts. I have come to my final verdict. By the power invested in me, as court-appointed mediator of this corporate court, I find the defendant, Miss Kai Saikota, not... Did I mention she has a team of unpaid writers locked in her basement? Innocent in any way, shape, or form! Guilty! 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 What? But my speech! My totally legitimate points! Mr. Flight, I barely just got my favorite TV shows back from the writer's strike. I am not going to jeopardize them by setting free someone who commit a great villainous deed like that. Yep. Of the many VTuber basements I was a part of, Kai Saikota's was one of them. Yeah, the writer's strike. That shows you how old this writing is. Bailiff, secure a warrant for Miss Saikota's arrest post-haste. Yeah, about that. Where's the evidence? Yeah, so there was a massive TV writer's strike in 2023 or so. Or 2022, I forget which. But it was like post-COVID. Everybody was stir crazy. People weren't getting paid enough to keep them well fed. So, yeah, there was a writer strike in the middle of all that as well. Yeah, about that. Didn't you hear the judge, you backwater talking buffoon? Go apprehend a guilty party, so I may close the book on yet another successful case. Okay, well, first off, I ain't no back alley buffalo or whatever the hell you just called me. And second, there ain't no way in hell I can do that. What do you mean? If it may please the court. Always wanted to say that. This court ruling has no jurisdiction over the defendant. What? How can this be? Wait, I got it. Well, actually, she's a dragon god girl, so she's like totally above the legal system. She's exactamundo. She's a goddamn god. There's no way in high heaven she's a citizen of this here legal system. Is that the lawyer from the P movie? I see. So it's in plain simple terms I can understand. I see. It's in plain simple terms I can understand. Is it? Because that cowboy talk makes no sense to me. It's very simple, Mr. Dredgeworth. Miss Kai Saikota is a dragon god. She isn't beholden to our primitive legal system, nor is she beholden to our mortal realm. Is this just had the movie logic of it's a bear so he doesn't qualify as American citizen? You got it. You got it. In all honesty, it's impressive that her own followers managed to get up the courage to challenge her like this. Somewhat plotting revenge. I'm afraid I can't continue this meaningless gesture any further. This court hearing is dismissed. Mr. Dredgeworth, while I was forced to hold you in contempt of court, this hearing will not go on your already stellar record. I think we'd all do well to leave this trash fire of a court hearing behind. I must say, Mr. Flight, despite the odds being stacked against you, you proved to be almost a worthy adversary against Mr. Dredgeworth. Almost. While this court hearing may not appear on your record, I know that you will bring this tenacious energy into your next case. Thank you, Your Honor. Wait, was that a genuine compliment or a backhanded one? And as for you, Miss Saikota, thank you for playing my silly little visual novel. I hope you had as much fun reading it as I had writing it. I know it's not exactly a Phoenix Wright clone, but free time is hard to come by these days. Yeah, you have no idea, past Ricky. And I have my own creative projects to take care of as well. I hope you and the camisitos, they don't exist anymore, enjoy the back and forth, shenanigans and shade. But above all else, thank you for being someone I can rely on for a good laugh, good times, and laid-back vibes. Even if things do get a little cursed every now and again. Now and again, he says. Catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. And that is Kai on Trial, everybody. An hour-long visual novel that I wrote and extremely ripped off the Phoenix Wright franchise to create. Thank you, thank you. Let's head over to the chat screen and maybe talk a little bit and wrap up the night. I'm glad you liked it, gal. God, I don't know how I managed to complete most of that in time. I didn't get to mix the music. I barely managed to get the writing done, all the SFX coding, all the visual gags. You know, there's even still files that have not been implemented, but I managed somehow to get it done. And this was a challenge I put on myself to, like, the writing bit was a long time ago, yes. The writing bit was a long time ago, but the music was created in the last 2 weeks. I'm very lucky that I had the SFX because I have no facsimile for any of that. And I managed to find my old repository of Phoenix Wright, of a Phoenix Wright sound font. So I got to use at least one sound effect from the official rips. But I think in due time, I will replace the thumbnail on this stream, and in due time, I may make a showcase, like either collection video or a playlist with all the rip-off Phoenix Wright soundtracks I made for this game. But I'm glad it's done. I'm sorry it took so long to finish at the very end. Like, I did not expect to start at 8:30 of all times, but there I were. There I were. So, yeah. That was the fan game that never was, y'all, and basically never will be, because it's just a fan game for somebody that doesn't exist anymore. And that's a big regret. But at the same time, you know, graduation isn't the end for anybody, unless they say it's the end. And I can tell you right now that Kai still lives on in a different persona somewhere. Yeah, no, I started very late. I started an hour and a half late. That was a bummer. Anyway, my brain is mush. I still have rebrand prep to do, but I want to tell y'all why I wanted to do this stream on this day, at least this evening. And it's because this was a rite of passage for me. I wanted to... What you screaming at, B? Anyway, I wanted to do this as a test to see how fast I could make music. Granted, I had a blueprint, but I wanted to do this as a way to prove to myself that yes, I can make more than just one stream BGM. I can make multiple things. And yeah, I know, the rebrand looms over and pokes its head in every once in a while. You're a musician who does a little streaming on the side. Yeah, but I've been a musician who has not put out anything in a hell of a long while. Anyway. So this was a way for me to push myself to my limits, to show myself that I am a real musician, and to show myself that my music theory has grown to the point where I can reliably make something and make it sound good. I know it was kind of in the background, but I really did put a lot of heart into the soundtrack. Ads are threatening to kill us, so I'm gonna go ahead and soak my hands in ice. Ever write sheet music? Nope, can barely read it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night for now because Exactly. I became a streamer who does a little bit of music on the side. Almost zero, in fact. But, all I can say is, if you ever see this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't deliver on time. I'm sorry I wasted your good faith. You showed it off on stream, and I didn't provide it. So, I'm sorry it was late. But at least it's there, in some way. I hope you enjoy it if you do see it. And it was a lot of fun to make. This is a bad time to join. Yep, we are wrapping up right now. Sorry, friend. But welcome on in, Foolish Phantom VT. I am going to go ahead and soak my hands in ice. I'm going to lay my head to rest. And I want to thank y'all for joining me for this very special stream where the game was something I created. The description will be updated with all the proper credits, as well as a cheeky link to some certain somebody who's a who was a president of a certain dog protectors club. I'll be here on the next one, Skelebro. Aw, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, until next time, folks. No raids tonight, because this was a very special stream. I'm tired. I want to thank y'all for enjoying what I wrote, what I made, and maybe I'll get the OST out soon when I have the time. But for now, next one is on Sunday, yes. Call of Cthulhu will be back. Hopefully this time the internet will be stable enough to play it. So, until next time, take care, be safe, and as always, memento vivere, memento mori. And I enjoyed writing this story a lot. I'm glad I got to finish it. Good night.